This show is sponsored by Bitonic. Invest in Bitcoin with ease.
Connetti il mondo.
Jack Everitt, THNDR, and I'm from the UK.
With a history steeped in dry humor and clever banter, do you feel that your British roots have naturally endowed you with that classic witty flair?
Yeah, definitely. I'm the funniest person I know.
Skiing evolved from an ancient survival skill into a modern adrenaline rush. Would you say your passion for skiing is driven more by the thrill of the descent than a love for the sport itself?
The thrill.
Since its reputed debut in the 19th century, Bakewell tart has been a symbol of British culinary charm. Do you worry that your love for this treat might be seen as a guilty indulgence rather than a refined taste?
No.
With a tradition stretching back to Queen Victoria's afternoon rituals, tea is practically a British institution. Have you ever found that your tea habit disrupts your productivity at the most inconvenient times?
Never, no.
Since 1977, Star Wars has ignited imaginations across the globe. Do you think your passion for the saga sometimes leans too heavily into nostalgia for a galaxy far, far away?
Yes.
From the debut of Pablo Honey to the experimental vibes of In Rainbows, Radiohead has been on a constant journey of reinvention. Do you think their fearless evolution is the secret behind their enduring appeal?
Yes.
Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People was published back in 1989, inspiring millions with his simple rules for success. Do you find that these habits really help you keep your day on track?
Yes.
Ski resorts have long been the go-to winter escape since the early days of organized winter tourism. But there are some places in Europe where skiing in the summer is even possible. Have you ever booked a skiing holiday in the summer?
No.
From Shakespeare to Newton, Britain has been the birthplace of revolutionary ideas. With that in mind, do you ever feel that your British roots impose any unexpected creative limits?
No.
Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
No.
Welcome to the Connected World Weekly Podcast. I'm Edward.
And I'm Steph. We are ready to take you with us into the beautiful world of the Lightning Network.
Enjoy the ride. This is episode 130 of Connected World, and this show is made possible by our friends from Bitonic and BRINGIN. And thank you guys again, because this is a new year and you're still here to help us out with our mission to connect the world with Bitcoin through the Lightning Network, of course. And if you also want to help out with our mission, then follow us on Twitter, X, or on Nostrdam. Subscribe at our YouTube channel, or if you have any questions at all, you can head over to one of our Telegram groups and you can ask us anything. And of course, a donation is always welcome.
Connetti il mondo.
There's Jack from THNDR Games. Welcome, Jack.
Thanks for having me back, guys.
Yeah. We I think the previous time was it was at the beginning. I think it was the 15th episode or something, Edward.
Well, it was also a long time ago that we recorded another episode now, because this is a new year, a new season. And if I'm thinking about Jack, then I'm searching now. It was
I think it was
15.
the 15th. Yeah.
And that was, when was that?
I think it was in 2022.
In March 2022, yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is a long time.
That's a really long time ago.
One at the Bitcoin conference in Amsterdam as well with Desiree.
Yeah, that's right. And I remember that you had in your house a tiny TV with some kind of retro game on it or something. I don't know.
It was my speaker for my guitar.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, you made it yourself, right?
Different room now.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. And apart from the very first official episode we did with you, we spoke to you and Desiree, of course, at the conference. I think it was 2 times or something. So we had a big bit of a recap with you with all the things you did, but we only had like 10 or 15 minutes at the conferences, and now you guys are doing some great stuff with Clinch and all. So we thought that we also tried it out ourselves. So we thought, well, let's invite Jack again. And,
of course.
And
I remember it was just something that I thought of now. We did some weird thing. Was it with you, Jack, or with Desiree? I don't know. But we had the sounds of Bitcoin Bay, the cat game, the bubble shooter, and we did some kind of quiz or something. I don't know. It was strange. So
Desiree, she would have done something fun like that.
I think it was her. Yeah. So if someone is listening and thinking, what is he talking about? Then just check our YouTube channel and search Desiree, and then you can find it.
I don't think I've seen it.
Maybe it was you. I don't know.
No,
I need to look it up.
I think it was Desiree.
And we had our the sounds. We had them a long time in our media board, but I'm looking at it now and I can't find it. So, yeah,
they're gone.
They're gone.
Are you? Did you have a skiing trip already, Jack? Because now it's the season, right?
Yeah, I've got one in March. So
cool. And where do you go?
Val Thorens.
Yeah,
in France.
Okay, cool. I've been.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably going to look like an idiot.
We pronounce it like Val Thorens.
Okay. Well, that sounds very good.
And it's part of the what is it? The Tres Vallées. The Tres Vallées. I think that's called. Yeah, I've been there. I think it was last year or 2 years ago.
Tres
Vallées. Yeah, I mean it's. The map is so big.
Yeah.
I didn't manage to get every slope in the whole week. I mean, and I skied for like 50 to 60 kilometers a day, and it was
amazing.
It's immense. It's so big. So
I went last year, and I'm going back this year because I didn't finish.
No. Yeah. I mean, I was at the side of Val Thorens, and you also had the. What is the slope called that's going to Italy? The Cima Caron. I don't know if the Cima Caron. So I think that's the upper right part of the area. And if you get that lift, you can ski all the way to Maribel. It's like the west side of the area, and you can like ski for I think maybe an hour. Without even have to be using one lift or something. So it's crazy. You start above the trees, and then you get like some kind of very weird. It's almost like a Sahara with snow, so a very bumpy area. It's beautiful. It's kind of. I mean, you're a big Star Wars lover. It's kind of like Star Wars, spacey. And then you and then you get like a big part that's a big circuit around the forest, and then you get to Maribel, and it's like I think it's around an hour or even pretty more than an hour skiing without touching any lift, and that's the best thing you can have, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's the best feeling going skiing because you just switch off. You just have to survive, not crash.
Yeah,
you're not thinking problems.
I crashed 2 weeks ago, man. It was I bought everything new. So I had new skis, I had new poles, I had a new helmet, I had a new goggle. So I was, and I always go 2 weeks, 1 week with my family and 1 week with friends because I have 2 little kids and I have to teach them skiing, and then it's not enough for me, you know. So that's why I always go 2 times. And this was the first week with only my family, but I had my new gear.
You don't do the real thing, right?
Yeah. So I brought everything up, and I was the first on the slope, and I was like, "Oh man, let's get it done!" So and I was going so extremely fast, and then I crashed, and it was in the middle of a corner, and I crashed, but I was really going fast, and I crashed, and everything went out. So my skis and my poles, everything was lost. and I moved off the slope backwards. But when in the time I moved, I realized I'm going way too fast still, way too fast.
Oh, no.
And then but really I woke up in between just between two big trees at the side of the. So I was not at the slope anymore, but just at the side of the slope. So I was like, well, I was so lucky. And then I looked at my watch because I always have ski tracks on. And I was my top speed was 111 kilometers an hour, and that was around the time. Yeah, that was around the time of the crash. So I was so lucky, And I was like, oh man, I have 2 little kids. But the thing is, I have a record. My record is 125 kilometers an hour, and every time I'm going on a holiday, I want to break that record, So and every time I don't succeed because it's way too fast still. So, oh man, and I was like, man, I have 2 kids just down at the village with my wife, and what was I thinking, So, but it happened the second day, so that was good, So it was a wake up call, and then the rest of the vacation I was completely chilled, and I never ever went around that speed. So,
and your record, where did you ski then?
Yeah, at the same slope.
At the same
slope, because it's like a very tiny area where I go every year, because it's great for kids to teach. But they have one black slope and one red slope, and the red slope you can if you're the first on the slope, Jack, the feeling, right? If you're the first on the slope, I mean, the sky's the limit and it's all yours. And so I learned skiing myself at that very same area. So it's like I can do every slope with my eyes closed, So that's the thing. So, but it's so reckless. So
living on the edge.
Yeah, really living on the edge, man. I have been really lucky, to be honest, and I didn't broke anything. So that's it's crazy. But
and your skis and poles, they survived.
They survived. The poles. They had big scratches. But they survived. Yeah, it's. I mean, I've been really lucky. I've been really lucky.
Did anyone come and check you're okay?
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, there was a group behind me, and I. But because I went so fast, they didn't saw me fall. But I looked in the corner where the crash was, and I saw my skis lying there and my poles, and I was like, oh shit, I need to grab them because the group is coming, and it's they couldn't see the slope that good, so. Yeah, there was still an accident going to happen. So I ran up the slope, and then I grabbed my skis, and I was like, whoa, I just ran up the slope. So that means I didn't broke anything. So I was like, oh, I'm lucky. And then I put everything on, and I get to the lift, and then I realized, and I checked my watch, and I realized, okay, only one time this vacation, and now it's done. Now it's done playing, and just enjoy. Forget about it. Yeah.
And drink.
No. I'm not. Yeah, well, yeah, of course. No, but great, Jack. Yeah, I mean, it's way too long of a story for a Bitcoin podcast.
Doesn't matter.
It's from one skiing lover to another. Just stay humble and don't do anything reckless, man.
I won't be reckless when I'm skiing. I'll just stay humble.
Yeah, stay humble, stack sets, and watch your speed. That's my advice. Hey guys, let's talk about Clinch and your work at THNDR. But we will do this in the 21 minutes. So if you're ready, Jack and Edward,
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
The 21 minutes is brought to you by BRINGIN, the app to reliably sell and spend Bitcoin from any wallet.
Well, just like we said, it was a long time ago since we spoke, but last year we were at Bitcoin Amsterdam. And what have been the biggest milestones for THNDR Games in that couple of time? I think what surprised you the most about, for example, the adoption of Bitcoin-powered gaming, because of course a lot of things are released at that time. We were talking about Clinch, I remember, and a month's time in Lightning and Bitcoin world is a lot. So, what surprised you the most?
Well, what surprised me the most? Yes, it's kind of like I would say what surprised me the most is Donald Trump getting elected, because and like the mood changing a little bit, like in the crypto space.
Yeah.
Like I know it was palpable.
Yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean? So that kind of surprised me the most. And before that, I was scared about getting in trouble, like using cryptocurrency, and like. And now I'm less scared. Nothing's really changed.
In that sense, a good thing, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and at the same time, there will be a big difference. We talked about it in the pre-talk, obviously. A big difference between Europe, who is going a big in another direction, as it seems, like the US. Is that something you guys at Thunder are also? I mean, you have to deal with it, right? If you want to release stuff in Europe, it's completely different approach than in the US, I guess. So how do you guys approach that?
Yeah, so actually one of the biggest things we changed strategically was we used to run our own node via Voltage. We still have that, but we decided to use a patchwork of payment providers. So for in each territory, we didn't have to worry about these risks. So at the moment, we're using mainly Zebedee for the payments for our rewarded games and Clinch. So that was one of the big changes, and we kind of touched on it before the show, which was that for a small startup, it's very difficult to we don't have a lawyer, and we don't want to pay for lawyers either because it's just burning cash.
It is.
So you can't there's loads of other legal things you have to worry about, let alone whether you're accidentally money laundering. You can do it by accident. You know, if someone's just found a loophole in your system and someone's like funneling money through. It's kind of, that's kind of how it's affected us. But it is freeing in a way, because when you run your own node, it is quite a bit of overhead, you know, setting up channels. If something goes wrong with your node, having to get up in the middle of the night to fix it. It helps.
Yeah, I can imagine that. And we already talked about Clinch at Bitcoin Amsterdam, because you just released it. But for the people who didn't saw that episode, it's a non-custodial peer-to-peer wagering model. Can you explain to us in a nutshell what it actually is and what it does and what makes it so special?
Yeah, so it's kind of evolved since we spoke at that conference. So that was in 2023, I think. I think it was like just over a year ago, wasn't it? In November time, October. And so it started off as a peer-to-peer non-custodial wagering. And how that worked was we used HODL contracts on the Lightning Network between two people who were betting. So me and Steph could be betting on a game of solitaire, and he would pay me and I would pay him via a HODL contract. And then our game would determine the winner and release the funds. And that was working, that works really well. But what we found with the games was that if me and Steph were not online at the same time, it was like too complicated, like it would take too long. You want to play immediately. So we switched the consumer application, Clinch, which is a skill-based wagering app where you bet money against each other on games. We switched that to be a custodial solution where instead you pay for your bet when you want to bet. So we're doing I'd call it like pay-as-you-go betting. So when you want to bet, you pay with Lightning, and then if you win, the money gets sent straight back out to you. So to the user, it felt exactly the same, but it just meant, and it also improved the usability because you didn't have to wait anymore for your counterparty to be online. And then we've taken that model to sports books and iGaming operators. So now we have our games on different casino websites and sports books websites. And what we do instead of, so there they don't use Bitcoin or Lightning, they just have their own payment system. But we pair the people across the different websites. So Steph and me can be in like different parts of the world betting on a different website on one of our games. But we can be connected via Bitcoin, so we can payments can happen between the two websites and us two betting. But no one can block it or stop it from going through.
Yeah, that's crazy. And is it like because one thing that pops up in my mind is like the interoperability is like kind of the same as, for instance, Nostr is, that where you just have your account, but you can plug in on all various websites, and when you log in with your pub key and your private key, well, your whole profile is there. Is it something similar as you just explained how Clinch works then?
Yeah, I think it's. I'll re-explain it because maybe I was kind of jumped from topic to topic. But the now Clinch works, the way it works is if you're on there's two websites. The users on those websites just have normal accounts, normal balances.
Yeah.
But the people operating those gambling websites or sports betting websites, they have these players who want to bet, but say on website A, the player hasn't got anyone to bet against, and on website B, someone hasn't got anyone to bet against. So we can match them together across the websites. But the problem is these two websites need to like trust each other and keep some kind of ledger and balance and settle at the end of the month, and like potentially be like unbalanced. So they could actually owe one website $10,000 at the end of the month, and it's not a very good position. So what we do is we like settle the bets instantly with Bitcoin. So there's no like ledger.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds it sounds super easy then to just have your games on all websites that could be suitable for. And I've played a solitaire game on Clinch before. Tried it. Are there any other games that you have on Clinch right now?
Yeah, so we started with solitaire because it's the most popular sort of skill-based wagering app that exists. So we thought we'd start with the most popular one. Then we released one of our other games that we already had, which was called Tetro Tiles, which is like on the App Store. But we call it Blocks in Clinch. It's basically a Sudoku and Tetris mashup where you get Tetris pieces and you have to fill in a Sudoku board. And then in a week's time, I'm not sure when this is going out, but next week, we're releasing a blackjack game. So it's a version of blackjack where you compete. You have both the same dealer, but you compete with the same set of hands. So you're not against each other, you're both against the dealer.
Okay.
And whoever gets the top score wins the prize.
Cool.
So
So that's more also. That's more like the real casino kind of games.
Yeah, because we have our skill-based wagering apps, and as I said, some casino websites, sports betting websites, and even Bitcoin wallets actually have added our games to their websites. So I think cryptocurrency people and Bitcoin people are like degenerates. When we survey people, they're like, I want poker. I want poker.
I was thinking about it because the Tetro Tiles, Blocks, I think it's a great game. I mean, for a lot of people, I would say normal people, but people that just want to play a game. And they could be children, could be male, female. But of course, blackjack, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, we'll see the response, because obviously it's a slightly different version of blackjack because you're not on the table with other people.
Okay. No.
Because we're making it so it's like more skill based, so you both get the same chance to beat the dealer. But it's very close to blackjack, so it should be pretty fun. Yeah,
so you guys need to check the feedback, and if the experience is good enough to make it a great game, I can imagine.
So far we've had good feedback. We've had some just like tests with our partner companies who've released our games, and they seem to think it's going to be a winner. One of them even released a like beta version of it on Twitter. I'm not even checking. Okay. I don't mind if people leak our games because they like them.
Can you share maybe some usage data or adoption trends that indicate how well Clinch has been performing? Do you have any?
Yeah, so Clinch is the main statistic we follow on Clinch is volume of bets. So like how many people are betting on the games. Not how many people, how much money they're betting.
Yeah.
And each month so we started measuring that from July last year. and each month it's gone up 50%, at least 50% in the volume. So, and we haven't spent any money on marketing really, just, normal social stuff and just product improvements, new games, and people are spending more and playing more.
Well, the community aspect is great, I think, because you also made Clinch possible to add to your Telegram group. Are there any other social platforms where this can be used in the same way like Telegram?
Yeah, I would say the best example is, it's not a social platform, but it's the Speed wallet.
Yeah.
And that's probably most appropriate for this podcast because it's a Lightning wallet.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. And what happens in that case is like our game is there, but when you play, you're not paying Speed for the match, you're paying us directly and we're paying you directly. So it's not even our app, but because of Lightning, you can just pay. I won't go into the technical details, but it's just like quite neat to be able to pay each other in this way. And, so I would check it out on there.
And I think also to use it more. I mean, there you have your wallet on your mobile phone. Then you can also play a game, and then it adds to the fun of using it. What kind of user retention patterns have you observed? I mean, are players who try Bitcoin wagering sticking with it also?
Yeah, the long tail retention is quite good. It's very promising.
Okay.
I think that's why it's growing, even though we're not doing any major marketing on it, or like paid advertising.
Yeah.
And I'm quite pleased because we did that. We've done the what I called it earlier, the pay-as-you-go bets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of different. So you don't have to deposit money. You're just paying for each bet. And I was worried that it would be a bit of a clunky interface, like opening a wallet each time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But some people like it because then they trust it more if they're just paying on demand rather than like depositing $100 onto an app they don't know.
Yeah, can imagine.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And are you also seeing more interest from casual gamers or high-stake players or competitive esport gamers, or do you have kind of insights of what kind of gamers are mostly attracted to these type of games?
Yeah, we have a lot of crossover with our play-to-earn games. So at Thunder, we have a lot of games where you can the same games, but you just earn money for free. They're exactly the same rules. You can play against other players. It's all the same. And we cross-promote a portion of those players to the real money game. And they seem to like it. I mean, it's good. It's a better business model for us than the play-to-earn on the Bitcoin side because we can make money on each bet, whereas on the play-to-earn, you make money on ads. And unfortunately, play-to-earn games don't earn a lot from ads. They get okay, but it's not. I guess the advertisers don't want to advertise to play-to-earn customers. And so from that perspective, it's working well for those groups of users, and they tend to be in like Latin America, hard to monetize countries. So it's good to be able to monetize those groups. And then with our like integrations onto iGaming websites, there's a lot of whales there. So they spend a lot of money. Like one day, like there was two guys betting each other like $10,000 on solitaire.
Solitaire.
And we'd only done one integration then, and we were like, we need to do more of these integrations. So
damn.
Yeah, there's a difference.
It's interesting to see that data that you think, well, to learn about it more. I was thinking, this way of using Clinch can, of course, disrupt traditional online gaming. I think we talked about it in our earlier interviews also. What do you have kind of new insights, perhaps, into how Bitcoin gaming can really disrupt the traditional online gambling scene?
Yeah, so like we started with the free-to-play games with the rewards, and that was kind of disruptive because before before Bitcoin, you'd have to wait 6 months to be able to cash out your prize because you'd have to get to $5, which would take forever. That was a good sort of disruption, but it really depends on how much people want Bitcoin for that to take off. So with stable coins on the Lightning Network becoming a thing, I think that will, and the trend will continue going up there. And then in iGaming, we see like the iGaming space is very ossified. It's very, like they make a lot of money through slots and all the various games that they have, but they haven't changed in a long time. And something we see is the payments in that industry, settling payments between the different partners and operators and components that go into making a gambling website is very inefficient. So we're hoping Bitcoin can disrupt that, because it's quite a secretive industry as well. And people, if you can offer them a way to pay each other, which is like private and permissionless, I think it's very attractive.
Yeah, it is.
And I want to come back at the guys, the whales who are betting each other $10,000. I mean, because you only have Lightning invoices, right? So this is paid with Lightning, right? The $10,000.
Yeah, that one was paid on a partner website. Okay. So they were using dollars. This partner website is called Bet Openly. It does have Lightning support as well, so you can deposit your money onto there with Lightning. And then our Thunder and Bet Openly, we settle with Bitcoin. So Bet Openly users sometimes are playing Thunder users, and then we keep a ledger and we settle the bets between us. But in that particular case, it was just two Bet Openly users were betting.
Okay.
Guys, crazy guys.
So to be clear, they just deposit. They could have deposited the $10,000 with Lightning, but it's not something you guys are aware of. It could also be.
I don't know. The case.
No, because it's interesting, because if you have such high bets. I mean, the Lightning Network, well, people say it's just made for buying coffee at the corner store. And if you can bet 10,000 grand,
On our consumer app, Clinch, we allow bets, I think, up to $100. So you can make bets up to $100 on a single match. So that's fairly high.
Yeah, it's also high. Yeah, but I mean,
more than a coffee.
I mean, $100. I mean, for the Lightning Network, it's something you would expect, right? But $10,000 is something it's so. I mean, if I have to do a $10,000 transaction, I would prefer. I would go for the main chain and not the Lightning Network. I mean, my Lightning node doesn't even have that much capacity, right? So no, but okay, that's interesting. But I understand how it worked for you, and that you guys just don't know. Hey, what lessons have you learned? Because I think you also onboard some non-Bitcoin gamers. Especially maybe more through the partner websites, I can imagine. What have you learned about onboarding those type of gamers into a Bitcoin-powered wagering?
Yeah, so in our play-to-earn games, we onboard loads of new people all the time. This is an old statistic, a year old, so bear with me, but it was about a year old. It was about 80% of new users needed to get onboarded to a Bitcoin wallet before they could withdraw their prizes.
Yeah.
So, what we kind of learned with that was we had to do like the custodial solutions. We tried recommending non-custodial, but it was too much customer support for us, because people would ask us for help.
Yeah.
We started. There's Zebedee, Speed Wallet, the ones that we recommend. So what we do is we onboard people via those games first, so they get their first free Bitcoin, they get their wallet. Then we promote our real money gaming apps to those people in our free games. So because we know they've got a wallet and we know they've got some Bitcoin that we already gave them. Then they can come to our Clinch application and play the same game, but for real money. And then they can buy some more Bitcoin if they lose all their money in their own Bitcoin wallet.
Yeah. Hey, Thunder recently partnered also with Maincard to bring skill-based games to Telegram Fantasy Sports. What was the motivation behind this partnership, and what do you guys want to do with it?
Yeah, so they're fantasy sports application, and they basically they wanted to add more games into their app. So because our games can plug into any app, like I was describing earlier, we're aiming for these iGaming websites. We added it to there, and the goal is to try to get them. At the moment, their users are betting against each other, and the goal is to get them unlocked onto the Lightning Network to bet against our users and the Bet Openly users.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm now checking the website. Is it maincard.io?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And do you have also some other companies who you're teaming up with? I mean, what are the future plans for Thunder? I hear that TikTok is there, so
designing
maybe it's a good,
some new games.
Exactly. What do you guys have planned for the near future?
Yes, in the near future we've got some in the pipeline, some exciting ones in America to partner with, and so our strategy is to get our games on the websites and then onboard those websites to Bitcoin so that we can do this like peer-to-peer network of bets over the Lightning Network.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
We will keep an eye on you guys.
Definitely.
Conectado Lumea.
We still have one question left for you, Jack. And the fun thing is, you may choose yourself, because we pre-recorded a question from Kijan from Stacker.news or Pierre Corbin, and he's from Flash. So, which one will it be?
Let's go for Stacker.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Keon from Stacker News. I'd like to know when you think people will spend Bitcoin more than they save it.
Will it ever happen? Maybe.
Yeah, like I don't think anyone should. I don't want that to happen. Like it shouldn't be, or that should never happen, right? You always be saving a little bit more than you spend.
It's an interesting question for you.
I also
right?
can't. For myself, I mean, that will be not no good thing, right? Because then you're ending up with any Bitcoin left. So
yeah, my brain couldn't compute the question. I was like, is this like a paradox question or what?
Cool. Well,
I think that's what he wants. He was just trying to.
He tricked me. It was like 3D chess.
Exactly. And when you I can imagine that when you just set like a year or something, then he will get into your DM and say, "Well, Jack, that's a very stupid idea. You know, you never want to spend more than you save, man."
It was a trap. It was all a trap.
Just to see if you were awake, right?
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
Connect the world.
Jack, where can people follow you and all the things you guys are doing with Thunder? I mean, okay, let's say this because if you guys are joining our Telegram group, then we have added the solitaire and the blocks game to our Telegram group. So if you want to try it out, you can do it from within our Telegram group. But that is not the only place where you can play these games. So maybe you can tell us where to keep track on all the things you're doing. And you also personally, what's your Twitter account, etc.
Yeah, so I'd agree. The best place is your Telegram group. We've got a new game dropping in there next week, it's Blackjack, so that'll be in the Telegram group. So we also have a Telegram group, which is just Thunder Games, THNDR Games. Website is thunder.games, THNDR.games. And Twitter is Thunder Games again. Just search for Thunder Games on Google, you'll find us. And I'm Jack Everitt on Twitter, all one word.
Awesome.
Cool.
And Steph, I'm playing it now. So if you go to our Telegram group.
but we still have to record a podcast. So I don't think
that's right. Let's do it later. Hey, thanks again. And thanks everybody for listening in. And of course, thanks to everyone helping to connect the world with us. So if you like our content, then please support us in our mission. Visit our website, connecttheworld.live, where you can also make a donation and subscribe, like, and share our content on your favorite platform. We need you to complete our mission, connect the world. So keep those notes running and sets flowing and play Clinch, of course. And see you all next week on the same Lightning channel. Tot ziens,
Thank you, Jack.
Bye-bye.
See ya.